This video is going to go through your cumulative review for today, 1 through 16. Number 1, the figure shown is composed of a right triangle and a rectangle. What is the area of the figure in square feet? So we're talking about a triangle and a rectangle. So if you go to your formula chart, your toolbox, you're going to grab those formulas for area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height, and a rectangle, base times height. Because that's the first thing you should jot down. So 1/2 base times height, and then I'm going to include the area of the rectangle, base times height. Now we're going to go look for the dimensions or measurements of each shape. For the rectangle base, I'm going to look at this 3 by 2.8. So this could be your base and this could be your height. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 3 times 2.8. Then on the triangle, we need a base and a height of the triangle. Well, the height of the triangle and the base make that 90-degree angle. So the 0.8 has to be the base. And the height then is this 2.8 because it's opposite here and they measure the same. Now I'm going to go ahead and calculate and do my math. So 2.8 times 3. We have one decimal place. So this is 8.4. Then we're going to go ahead and calculate this 1/2 times 0.8 times 2.8. So you can do 2.8 times 0.8. 64, 16, 6, 22. There's two decimal places, so this is going to be 2.24. But remember that we are dividing it by 2 because it's a triangle. So 2.24 divided by 2, that becomes 1.12 plus 8.4. Line up your decimal. And that gives us the 9.52. So the area of the two shapes composed is 9.52 feet squared. C. Number 2. Now here we're looking at a constant rate of change. Which statement best describes the unit rate for the data shown in the table? So that's your change in y over your change in x. So we're going to go look for the change in y from 0 to -12. That's a -12. To -12 to -24. That looks like it's a -12. And it looks like that pattern is consistent. So this is a -12 on top. The change in x is +3, +3, +3. So we're going to go ahead and put a 3 here. Now, be careful because f says x increases by 3 while y increases. Well, that's not true. It's not increasing, it's decreasing. So f is out. That's your distractor. The ratio of y to x is 1 to 3. Well, this doesn't look like 1 to 3, so more likely we're going to have to simplify. So I'm going to factor out a 3, and that gives us -4 over 1. So this right here is not even true if those were even the values. H, as x increases by 1, well, here's x. It is a +1, so it's increasing. Y decreases by 4. Well, that's true because it's a -4. So here your answer is H. This is out. Constant rate of change. Number 3. The top of a footstool is circular and has a radius of 12 inches. Oh, I already saw shape is circular. There's a radius of 12. Sandra is attaching a piece of fabric around the edge of the footstool. Assume Sandra has exactly enough fabric. Which measurement is closest to the length? So here we're talking about a circle. It's going around, so that is your circumference. So this is a measurement problem. Circumference, they gave us radius. So we're going to use 2 times pi times radius. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the question. They told me the radius here was 12 inches. So I'm going to plug that in. I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. So 2 times 3.14 times 12. 2 times 12 is 24 times 3.14. Now we can start estimating our answer here. 24 times 3 is 12, carry 1. That's going to be 72. So I can get rid of A, C, and D. Our answer is going to be B. So when you calculate that, you get 75.36 yards circumference. Number 4. There are 30 kilometers of actual hiking trail represented on a map. The map uses a scale, there's your keyword, in which 3 centimeters represents 2 kilometers. That's a proportion. What is the length of the trail on the map? So we're going to go ahead and write our scale of 3 centimeters over 2 kilometers. And the third number is 30 kilometers. And since I put my kilometers on the bottom, that's where I'm going to put the 30. Now I'm going to go ahead and solve this proportion. You can do cross product, 3 times 30, and then we're going to divide that by 2. 3 times 30 is 90, divided by 2, that's going to give us 45. So the actual length on the trail is 45 centimeters. Proportion. Number 5. What is the volume? This triangular prism. So we're talking about volume, triangular prism. You go to your mathematics chart, there's volume prism. Volume equals big B times H, where big B is the area of the base. So the area of the base is going to be a triangle base because it's triangular prism. So this is your big B. So we're going to go back to the chart. We're going to look for area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. So we're going to go ahead and plug in that formula. We're going to break this down because it was 1/2 base times height, and then this is the height of the prism. So now we're going to go find our values that go into the formula. So here's the triangle, there's the base, and then this is going to be the height. So the height is this 7 here. So 18 times 7. Then we're going to multiply that times the height of the prism, which connects triangle to triangle. So this is going to be 21.5, but I'm going to change it into a decimal. So 21.5. Now we go ahead and do the calculation. So 8 times 7, 126. And then you got to divide that by 2. So that's going to give us 63 times 21.5. And that's going to give us 1,354.5 centimeters cubed. So the volume of this triangular prism is 1,354.5 centimeters cubed. Volume. Number 6. And remember, you can always stop the video so you can copy your notes. The ratio of customers to employees. There's the vocabulary, the ratio, customers to employees. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Oh, customers to employees. In the store is a 5:2. So the 5 represents customers because that came first, and then 2 is the employees. There are 10 employees in the store. What's the total number of people in the store? So more than likely you would set up your proportion like this, and then you put the 10 employees down here at the bottom to find the number of customers when there's 10 employees, which is fine. We can go ahead and solve it this way. 5 times 10 is 50, and we're going to go ahead and divide that by 2. So 50 divided by 2 is 25. So there are 25 customers when there are 10 employees, but the question wants the total number of people in the store. So we have to do an additional step here, which is going to be to combine the 25 customers plus the 10 employees, and we have a total of 35 people in the store. Now we answered the question. So make sure that the labels, the number matches what your question wants you to solve for.